you are thinking about moving to the Phoenix area and you want to rent first, either because you're not ready to purchase, or maybe you just don't want to purchase right now. You're not sure where your feet are going to land when you get here, or maybe you don't know how long you're going to stay. Look, if you're thinking about renting an apartment or a single family home, you're not going to want to miss this, because I'm going to give you the details on how to find everything you need and want safely in the Phoenix area. Don't go anywhere. Lots of action-packed information coming at you right after this. Hello, this is Sheryl Willis over at the Real Agent Now group right here in Phoenix, Arizona. And if this is the first time to our channel, you're going to want to tap that little subscribe button and click that little bell so that you are notified each and every time we release a new video. Look, we're getting dozens of calls, text messages, emails every single day, and we love it. If you're thinking about moving to the Phoenix area and you have some questions that are not answered in any of my amazing videos, over 150 of them now on living and moving to Phoenix, then you know what? You're just going to have to pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, or weekends, we got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. All right, so you guys are thinking of moving to the Phoenix area and you're thinking that renting is the best approach for you. There's a lot of different reasons why you would rent, but there's also some reasons that you might only want to rent for a short period of time because you're just getting to know the greater Phoenix area. Here's the difference. If you are thinking of, if you're getting a job relocation, or you're more than qualified to buy a home, but you're wondering where the market's going and you're thinking you want to just have maybe a shorter lease, 6 months, or maybe even 3 months, or let's just say you want to get to know the area before you land on the ground. There's so many different reasons that you would rent, on top of the fact we have people moving here left and right that are coming to Arizona without a job. So obviously without a job, you're still going to need housing over your head, and how do you get that? But then you start working on the income, right? You need income in order to qualify for a mortgage. So I wanted to, again, give you some resources depending on what your rental needs are. The first one I'm going to talk about is, let's just say you're relocating here from a company, with a company, and you have steady income. You already have income in Arizona. You have money saved. Maybe you're selling your home from wherever you're coming from, but you're just not really sure where you want to land here, and so you want to live here for a while before you buy. Well, first of all, if you're a homeowner and you all of a sudden go back to being a tenant, you're probably going to have a lot of struggles with that, because once you are your own landlord and you get to have exactly what you want, things get fixed Johnny on the spot, and you can do whatever you want. You can paint, you can add, you can change. I mean, everybody is getting so DIY these days. It's insane, and it's awesome because there's so much personality in everyone's homes here now. It's just unbelievable. And you know what? A recent buyer from California came in. We were looking at resale homes, and they were like, how does everybody in Arizona have furniture like this? Like, it's a brand new, super modern, stylish, all these super trendy, the shiplap and the granite or the quartz and the hoods over the stove. He's like, how does everybody afford that? I'm like, well, because people here don't work to live, and we have just extra money because overall the cost of living is significantly lower here in the greater Phoenix area. So I'm telling you, moving to Arizona, especially if you're coming in from a very expensive state, there's more than just housing that's less expensive. Like, there's a lot. Anyways, if you are coming in from that scenario and you're thinking about, well, I'm not really sure where I want to land, especially if you're working from home. Now, if you are moving here, let's just say you got a job at Northrop Grumman in Gilbert, and you know that that's going to be where you need to go in, maybe not every day, but 3 or 4 times a week. And you want to have less than 35-minute commute. That's what the standard commuter shed is for people's tolerance in Arizona. Again, I come from the Bay Area, just south of San Francisco, and if you had less than an hour or an hour and a half commute to work in the Bay Area, you were doing good. Here in Arizona, even though they say that the commuter shed is 35 minutes, I think the norm is maybe 20 minutes or 15 minutes. People want to live really close to work because they can afford to here in the greater Phoenix area. So that's going to dictate wherever you work. That's really going to dictate where you should be looking for a home, especially if you have children. Continuing to move is going to be very disruptive for them. You're going to want to start your search early, plan around the school year, plan around the schools, you're going to kind of know where you want to live. It's not really that hard. If you are, again, let's just say working at Northrop Grumman and you want your child in a school that's rated 7 to 10 and you want a 15-minute commute, there's the areas you're going to be looking at. And basically you're just looking at price range. So there's really not a whole lot of reason for you to rent in that scenario. Unless it was a short-term rental. Now, when we think about short-term rentals, many people immediately gravitate to Airbnb and VRBO. And even myself, I've used that just on a recent trip. And let me tell you, their fees are through the roof. And even the owners are kind of complaining because less and less people are booking through these platforms. And so they're trying to figure out how to get the word out. Well, we know how to get a hold of literally thousands of short-term rental property owners that we can work directly with instead of having to spend an extra $1,000 or more a month going through Airbnb and VRBO. So if that's the reason you're looking for rental, we are your contact. Again, that's part of the services we provide for relocation. When I say relocation, I don't mean through a corporate relocation. If you're moving from another state to Arizona, that's called relocating, right? Okay, so we are here to provide full service for you. Now, if you are thinking, you know what, although I have a great job and I know where I'm going to be working, I'm not so sure about the market. I'm kind of thinking I might want to sit on the fence a little bit, maybe 6 months or so. And I'm thinking I just kind of want to watch and see where things go. We can help make the arrangements through that as well. There's not a quick, easy place to find online like that. And here's another thing, depending on your price point, we also might have some rent to own opportunities. Now, some people think that rent to own is they've never owned a home and they don't have a lot of money saved, that's the way to go. You still have to qualify when you're doing a rent to own, a legitimate rent to own. And you also don't want to work with a company or an investor that is charging an enormous amount of earnest money up front and or an inflated rent. If you're thinking rent to own might be a good thing for you, give us a call. We have an agent specialized in this and we will introduce those opportunities to you. Again, another candidate that would be good for a rent to own might be someone that's ready to qualify today, but they're just not sure that they want to necessarily buy based on where the market or the interest rates are. They already have a down payment. They already make good money. And another scenario might be they have a lot of money, but they don't have really good credit right now. Maybe they just recently went through a divorce or some other tragedy happened in their life where they have the income and they have the low debt and they could qualify in that respects, but because their credit's low, the interest rate is even higher. So it's not an ideal time for them, but maybe it would be in a year, 2 years, or even 3 years. Those are all great scenarios for rent to own. Maybe you have great credit score, great job, you just don't have money saved. Again, another great RTO type of environment. Now, here is what the vast majority of people are, and especially all those younger families and younger independent individuals. And I say kudos and congratulations to you to make that leap, maybe outside of the town that you grew up in, where all your family is, and you're just trying to explore a new life. We have a lot of work at home people too. They're kind of nomads and they just want to come into Arizona for 6 months or a year or maybe 2 years. Lots of those people coming into the greater Phoenix area too. And that's where I want to start to give you some resources. My very favorite website to go to look for rentals is going to be rent.com. That's super easy, RENT.com. Now, the reason I like this particular platform, number one, Craigslist, do not go there. Number two, Facebook, do not go there. Do not go to any website, including Zillow, that the people that post the rental on there don't have to go through any kind of validation, certification, and there is a lot of rental fraud going on right now. These scammers, what they do is they find pictures of homes that are for sale. They take pictures of them. They post them on these secondary websites. And Zillow used to be free, so it used to be worse. But now they only have to pay, I think it's like $25 a week or something like that. And so they're finding that the people trust that name Zillow. And so they'll go on there and unfortunately they'll find some unfortunate, desperate person that maybe has really bad credit. And this landlord's like, oh yeah, we'll be glad to rent to you, no problem. Send certified funds or wired funds to this account. No bueno. Don't go there, guys. I'm telling you, it's not like that at all. So do not go to those type of websites. Here's what I want you to look for when you go on rent.com, or if you have another favorite. Here's some of the differences that I want to kind of forewarn you about. There's 3 different types of properties, if you would. Let's just talk about single family homes, because we know an independent person's not going to own an apartment, but we'll talk about apartments in a second. Single family home, let's say it's in good condition. You have 3 different types of owners. You have the independent person that's not a licensed realtor, probably lives in another state, and this is just an investment opportunity for him, okay? Number 2, there's going to be a property that is owned by someone outside of state, and they have hired a property manager. And then the third one is going to be more of, let's just call it an institutional renter. These are Wall Street hedge fund. We heard all about them. They were buying single family homes over the last many years. And here's what the difference is between those 3, okay? The independent landlord, okay? My name is Susie Smith, and I own this house at 123 Washington. I live in San Francisco, and I'm renting this house. Number 1, I'm probably not well briefed on the Landlord-Tenant Act in Arizona. Beware, okay? Number 2, you probably can't get a hold of me all the time because I'm going to screen your call when you call, okay? Number 3, they probably have not maintained the house very well at all because they don't live here, and all they're thinking about is collecting money. If you're telling them that paint is peeling off, unless someone of a higher power like the HOA says that there's a problem, they're not going to paint that house, and that house is going to continue to deteriorate. When there is a plumbing leak, yeah, you can turn off the plumbing and the plants die, but you're the one that's paying for the water, or the landlord you can't get a hold of. You're going to probably go to Home Depot and fix it yourself. I'm telling you, renting from a private landlord is nothing but trouble. Don't do it. Okay. Number 2, property manager. Now, a property manager, I've had a client that hired a property manager, and you know what? The property manager was doing their job. And the property manager just needs to make sure that the property is safe and it's clean and it's in move-in ready. But let me tell you, after you go through many tenants and you're many years down the road, you have one heck of a deteriorated home. Again, they don't proactively take care of things. They don't say, hey, by the way, your roof is coming up on its age. No, we don't have any leaks, but you should probably put a new roof in. The landlord doesn't even know that they might need to put a roof on until the leaks start popping in. And chances are, when problems pop up, although a property manager knows what the law is, and they will just basically get the bare minimum done. And with a property manager, they are only open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. if you're lucky. Sometimes if you call after 4, it just says they're out until the week. And if you have an emergency on Saturday night, you are left high and dry. Unless you go with the 3rd type of property, and that is an institutional property owner. Now, some of my favorite institutional property owners are going to be like Progressive Residential. That's one of the ones here in the greater Phoenix area. I think they're actually in a few other states as well. Another one out of Atlanta, I want to say, was Resi Home, and the 3rd one was First Key Homes. Here's the difference. When these institutional buyers came in, and I sold one to several of those investors, they came in, even if the AC worked, if it was beyond its life expectancy, they put a brand new air conditioner in. That's great for a tenant. It's going to save you a ton of money. And here's the thing. This is why they do this. They don't want to get a ton of phone calls in the middle of the summer for all these emergencies and having to pay over the top AC repairs. They take care of these repairs before you even move in. Most of the homes have solid roofs that are well within their normal life expectancy. They have better AC, newer ACs. I don't remember what the time limit is, but the house that I sold them had an AC that was about 19 years old. So they just replaced it. Those are the type of homes that I love seeing people rent. I know it goes to corporate America. Some people don't like that. They like helping the small guy, but is there really a small guy when it comes to investment properties? They all have money somewhere. The point is from a tenant perspective, and that's what I'm talking about to you, is better quality homes by institutional property owners. They also have a 24/7 hotline. They have permanent repair people on staff, on call, 24/7. And in the event something catastrophic happens, massive leak, fire, anything like that, they will put you in another one of their homes. You're not homeless. You're not like scrambling, trying to figure things out. So if you're looking for a single family home, I would highly recommend, again, one of the institutional property owners and property managers. They go together. All right. Now, apartment complexes. We have two different types of apartment complexes here. They're super easy, old and new. Old ones are going to be the outdoor stairs, 2, maybe 3 levels. Parking is an absolute nightmare. Usually just carports, and I would just, you get what you pay for, right? So if you like really want to live in Scottsdale, but you're on a budget, you're probably going to be in an older apartment complex. If you are kind of the hipster, trendy, and looking for the cool, like you get to know the entire building. Like there's a concierge, there's parties and happy hours and pool parties and DJs and barbecues, and you're in an elevator and it's this cool like massive Super Bowl party with like screens that are like 50 feet tall. We have those as well, all over the place. Apartments, in my opinion, you're going to get lower deposit to move in, so it's going to be less expensive to move in. Depending on when you rent, if you're looking for a rental in the summertime, you can get some pretty smoking deals, discounted rent or even free months rent. Also, you're going to always have a leasing office on site that you can go and yell and scream at. They also have a full-time maintenance person. So there's all these benefits if you ask me about living in what we call high density living. Also, if you're looking for something that's maybe closer, walkable to coffee shops and evening events, live music and parks, those are going to be the really nice apartment complexes on any one of the many downtown districts. And they're not going to be just out in the middle of nowhere. Public transportation, Tempe has fantastic public transportation. And honestly, if you're going to rent, if you don't have children, then you're going to follow your heart where the lifestyle is that you want to enjoy. If you have children, you're going to be gravitating towards the area of the schools that you want them in. And if you have a job, you're going to want to be close to work. All right, guys, I hope this has helped a lot. I'm so sorry we're unable to do rentals, but if we are looking at short-term rentals and or rent to own, we can help you. And hopefully, like I said, when it's time for you to buy, you're going to remember us. Pick up that phone, give us a call, shoot us a text with any questions at all. We're glad to help you. Be safe. We hope to see you soon, and welcome to Arizona. All right, bye.